African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command in combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing on the progress of the special military operation as of October 25, 2025. In response to terrorist attacks by Ukraine on civilian facilities on the territory of Russia, last night the armed forces of the Russian Federation delivered a group strike with long-range precision ground-based weapons, as well as strike unmanned aerial vehicles on enterprises of the Ukrainian military-industrial complex and energy infrastructure facilities, ensuring its operation. The strike objectives have been achieved. All designated targets have been hit. Units of the North Group of troops inflicted damage on formations of 3 mechanized, a Ranger Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a Territorial Defense Brigade, and a National Guard Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Leninskoye, Novaya Sek, Kondratovka, Korchakovka, Nalitsa, and Rogozno in the Sumy region. In the Kharkiv direction, damage was inflicted on units of 2 mechanized brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and a Territorial Defense Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Volchansk and Veterinarnoye in the Kharkiv region. The Armed Forces of Ukraine lost up to 150 servicemen, 3 armored combat vehicles, 16 cars, a field artillery gun of Western production, and a radio-electronic warfare station. An ammunition depot and 8 warehouses of material resources were destroyed. Units of the South Group of troops improved their tactical position. Damage was inflicted on formations of 2 mechanized brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a Territorial Defense Brigade, and a National Guard Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Kromovka, Stepanovka, Seversk, and Pleshchivka in the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost up to 85 servicemen, 6 armored combat vehicles, 10 cars, a combat vehicle of the Grad multiple rocket launcher system, 8 artillery guns, including 4 of Western production, a radio-electronic warfare station, and 3 ammunition depots. Units of the Center Group of troops have advanced deep into the enemy's defense. Defeat inflicted on personnel and equipment of 4 mechanized, assault, 2 airborne assault brigades, 2 assault regiments of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and a National Guard Brigade in the areas of the settlements Krasnoarmysk, Artemovka, Anovka, Novonikolivka, Dmitrov, Teretskoye, Sergivka of the Donetsk People's Republic, and Ivanovka of the Dnipropetrovsk region. Losses of Ukrainian armed formations amounted to up to 520 servicemen, 7 combat armored vehicles, and 4 cars. Units of the East Group of troops continued offensive actions. Defeat inflicted on formations of a mechanized brigade, an assault regiment of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and 3 territorial defense brigades in the areas of the settlements Danilovka, Radysnoye, Egorovka of the Dnipropetrovsk region, Privolnoye, and Chervono of the Zaporizhia region. The Armed Forces of Ukraine lost up to 320 servicemen, a launch vehicle of the US-made MLRS, 2 artillery guns, including 1 of Western production, 14 vehicles, and an electronic warfare station. Units of the Dnieper Group of troops inflicted defeat on personnel and equipment of 2 mechanized, mountain assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and 2 territorial defense brigades in the areas of the settlements Stepnogorsk, Stepovoy, Novodanilovka of the Zaporizhia region, Ponytovka, and Antonovka of the Kherson region. More than 80 servicemen, 1 combat armored vehicle, 15 vehicles, 5 electronic warfare stations, an ammunition depot, and 2 supply depots were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, strike unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops, and artillery of the troop groups of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation destroyed a launch vehicle and a transport loading machine of the coastal missile complex Neptune, inflicted defeat on workshops producing unmanned aerial vehicles, as well as temporary deployment points of Ukrainian armed formations and foreign mercenaries in 154 areas. Air defense means shot down 2 guided aerial bombs and 281 airplane-type unmanned aerial vehicles. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, destroyed 668 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 92,459 unmanned aerial vehicles, 633 anti-aircraft missile systems, 25,664 tanks and other combat armored vehicles, 1,607 combat vehicles of multiple launch rocket systems, 30,783 field artillery and mortar guns, 44,815 units of special military automotive equipment. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.